Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Chrissy Sawyer here. How are you? And what's happening? What are you in? What are you processing? So I've been writing for days and I'm noticing that my time away from this space becomes more like Narnia every day. As in, I go off and journey and wander and explore. And it feels like I'm gone for weeks. And then I come back to this space. And it's only been a few days. And so there's a transition there. There's a bridge there that I'm learning to navigate. It won't be graceful to begin with. And in my wanderings for the last few days, a few messages have come through and they're about conflict. And all conflict begins within. And when conflict isn't navigated within and reconciled within and mastered within, it gets projected out into the world. And so the world that we see is a result of projected conflict. We are all the same and we are all different. So messages, new connections made by crossing the line without fear of programming. I get the word beheading here. Heads of state. This is cultural programming, and cultural programming is deeply embedded in the bones. And thank you. The beheading is about not getting lost in the emotional processing. This is me saying this, because we can go back and emotionally process the thing that's holding us back. Absolutely, that's one way of doing it. Another is to take a quantum leap, to cross a border that you perceive is there, to cross your own boundaries. So, crossing the line. And here we have the imperfect perfect. 919. There's a lot of nines coming through at the moment. And that's the dissolving of the experience into wisdom, aligning it with universal law. And in that 9 is the experience of the 1 to 8. And the 9 wants us to let go of the experience. And will ask of us that we sit in an unknown space where maybe the only way to navigate is to transgress borders without a passport. So the vulnerability of conflict as an art, going beyond perceived boundaries, and a really clear message about explore, investigate, and practice every method of nonverbal communication that you can conceive of. The world is running out of words, but the soul can always communicate. The eyes can always communicate. A little movement can say 1,000 words. And so I guess in this is a movement to get quiet. The only card that wanted to come out. See, in this 1910-1, it's just like this, it's like the disappearing. It's that to disappear into the void and to rebirth as what? The mind might want to understand or get attached to an outcome before it's formed the question. And so this space, as August heats up, is going to push us to sit in that not knowing space. And as we sit in the not knowing space, we won't have all the right answers. We may not have any answers at all. So that's going to challenge every codependency that's within us. Need to please, adapted child syndrome, parentified child syndrome, golden child. All of that is going to get challenged in this artful stumble. Okay, the artful stumble. So the moon is asking us to look deeply inwards at how we perceive, maybe what our limitations are. The underlying card, of course, is that 8th house of Scorpio, which speaks to entanglements, contracts, karmic agreements that we've made with culture, family. Yeah, the card under that, oh goodness me, is Virgo, inverted. It's like it's done. The 6 becomes the 9. The harmony becomes complete. It's done. Let it go. There is a real leap. It's a leap. So Scorpio is guiding us to investigate. Well, are you sure about that? Am I sure about that? Am I sure that if I transgress that boundary that's in me, that I will absolutely die, that I will suffer in some way? Or will that anticipation of suffering be connected to pride, vanity, ego, need, entanglement? It's all coming undone. It's all coming undone. Got it. I laughed at this card because yesterday was a whole day of shenanigans. G4, geomagnetic storm, severe, G3, G2, all in one day, radio blackouts, Zoom was a bitch yesterday, but this is inverted. And what this is inviting is to go to the solar flare inside. And what is flaring inside? What new catalytic fire is erupting inside? And are there control measures in place to keep you fitted into society? There's quiet volatility here. This is big change. This is like the universal challenge. This is the cosmos is challenging us to come into alignment. That's the challenge with this card. The 12th house, where we try to fit in by living out of alignment in a crooked line. Because we're trying to be right, kind, nice, insert expletives here. In the moment, you have access to the whole emotional spectrum. You can be whatever you want. We're birthing a mind independent of programming. Limited, controlling programming. And as we do that, we've got to get a bit naughty and boisterous and disobedient and loving in new ways and communicating in new ways. And here we are. So I'm going to, what is that? Yeah. Okay. So I just picked up this deck from Russell Penn, which will soon be available to buy. check out his website, liftrumour.com. And I'm guided to look at the underlying card. Okay. Oh, gosh, that's interesting. A mind free from controlling programming, obedient programming. Oh, gosh. Yes. We have another 9 coming in. Expand. And here's the leap. Here is the leap. It's literally crossing dimensions. It's like jumping a chasm. And so look for the challenge that comes in, and the challenge might come in as someone wanting to stretch you by asking you an uncomfortable question, asking you for something you might not want to give. Lean in, because that's where the stretch is, that's where the leap is, and see if you live. Okay, it might not feel good, nice, whatever, but we're kind of addicted to all of that niceness. This is where we experience our mettle and our grit in love, and embrace it in love. So compose, walking new views. Yeah. It's like, I don't know what I'm seeing, and I'm not even going to try and describe it. But if I could communicate it as a shape or a movement or a song or a tone or a look or a breath, look for other ways to communicate that which might be so ineffable. And the I am values, I am composed, I am confused, and both are okay. Let one serve the other, okay? We've turned polarity, the choice of everything, into duality. One is good, one is bad. The soul seeks the experience, and in the experience, there is no good and bad. There is just the experience, free to experience itself on its own terms. This is so as I stare into that 72, I get this kind of tightness here, and I noticed I got a bit wiggly then. That feels quite uncomfortable. It's asking something of me that I might not want to give. And the 9 is the invitation to let go of whatever that is and leap into the abyss. Leap into the black where there's no form. Yeah, it's threshold energy. It's threshold with no answers. This is where you got to figure it out for yourself. That's interesting. Oh, here we go. Right, I'm just going to pull the underlying story from these cards. Yeah, that reminds me, I was going to go. I don't know where they are. I was going to go to the elements deck today, but I don't need to. That 55 is screaming, you've got this, go for it. Now, go, now. Don't look back, stop thinking, feel your way. Ah, thank you. I was doing all sorts of work at 4 o'clock this morning, and one of the pieces of work was to grow whiskers. And with a set of whiskers, because I was sitting with the collective question, but how will I know? So this is followed by inner earth void, the space within. Okay, so holding that space within without feeding our addiction to fill everything, to fill it with food, to fill it with more addiction, to hold that emptiness within us for nature to grow. And we don't quite know what nature is going to do, but we have the seeds. It's the 55. We have the seeds of change within us. And this is speaking to body in terms of rhythm. Thank you. Back to cat's whiskers. But how will I know what to do? 2 swords. But how will I know what to do? Feel. Okay. So I say to most clients, I have many tenets that hold the container when I'm working deeply with clients. But 3 of the big ones are think less, feel more, get really good at crying as a process, and hydrate, and hydrate. They're the 3 simple ones. The rest are on the website. But body in rhythm is using your energy field to sense, using your whiskers to sense which direction to go in. When I was studying systemic work, somatic systemic work, we were guided to just stand in a little collective in no particular order and close our eyes and to find our place in that weird shape just by allowing the body to guide where its natural intelligence wants to go. No thinking, no vision, 3D vision, no picking a friendly face. Okay. Just pure sensory perception, using the whiskers and cat sense to get you there, pure intuition. And it's like living in Tai Chi. You're living with the active intelligence of the field, and that will establish your rhythm, because rhythm is something that has largely gone underground. Our natural rhythm will not tolerate productivity addiction. It will not tolerate the same thing every day. I must do this every day. Or what? There's the perception. Or what? But when we come into rhythm, there are going to be days where we're horizontal, meeting our exhaustion, honoring our exhaustion at a cellular level, and dancing with light to regenerate at a cellular level. We have all of that within us. And so we switch from left brain materialization to magical materialization that we can't explain. Why did you do that? My whiskers told me to do it. My lean told me to do it. My smell told me to do it. And the I am values, I am materializing, I am fruitless. Beautiful. Look at a plowed field. A plowed field doesn't always, should sit fallow for a while it regenerates and rests, while nature does her dance and composts it, hardens it, freezes it, drops spring rain onto it to crack new seeds, to bring it to life again. We don't farm in alignment with nature. we farm in alignment with greed. I am fruitless. How can you be fruitless? Because nothing is wasted. A seed can lie dormant for 20 years, 20,000 years. It'll come to life when it comes to life, when its whiskers sense something. Harmony with nature. I can't even. Oh, I've got a little bit of time. While I'm talking about time, I have a crazy busy week. So clients are my priority. So you may not see me again this week. So let me drop right in. Hello. So let me drop right into this. Look at the support. This is, gosh, the support in the underlying story. This is going to happen. It may take more energy to fight it, actually. Ancestral reverberations. Oh, this is gorgeous. Russ, I love that you brought this deck into life. Okay, this is the underlying story. Emptying. Go to that place within you where the dragons are, where the primordial ooze sits, waiting, waiting. Waiting for you to point a wish. It's that. There's a pointed directionism here. It's application of emptiness. Wow. And the beauty of that statement makes my heart just gently open. That's like this dissolving beauty. What did I say? Application of the emptiness. I am lost, I am found, and both are true. This brings in the magus, the magician and the high priestess, conceiving in harmony, creating from the higher mind. I see. This is balancing the masculine and feminine as well. The I am lost, I am found, bring in the feminine, high priestess, empress strength, playfully writing my life, your life, healer and alchemist of your own world. Inner radiance lights your path, inspires others, or not. Magus, Emperor Hierophant, playfully writing your life, your world, your path. So that's the feminine inspiration and the masculine act. That's the passive and the active coming together in the void. Go to the belly. Go to the belly. Learn to belly breathe. Learn to activate fire in the belly. Learn to sound from the belly. What does fire sound like in you? It's very individual, this, very individual. rational thought editing. Okay. So this is going to help collapse generations of wounded children who have had to split away from the emotional body and go to the rational, logical, interpretive mind, understanding mind, need to make sense of it mind, because I need to give the right answers so I don't appear vulnerable. These are control mechanisms, regulating mechanisms, so I don't have to feel this. And I'm going to put this up and out here. All of this is going to invite that come back into the body. Somebody asked me the other day, Chrissy, how do you feel so deeply? 20 years living in a cave. It takes a long time to drop, fall in love. In love, there's no judgment. There's just the experience, the fall, the let go, the release, the dissolving into the nine, to rise up again and then to fall again. That's the natural movement of nature, is to rise up and fall, to grow and to compost. And if we're not composting, then we're in excessive growth and we're taking up too much resource. Breath of life. I am ignorant, I am knowledgeable. There's a third one in there for me. I am willfully ignorant. Okay. And that's okay, as long as you know it. I'm ignorant, I don't yet know, and I'm willing to learn. I am knowledgeable, I've learned it, and I'm now going to let it go. It will find its way into the world. I trust it. It came to me for a reason. I imbibed it, I studied it, integrated it, and when it's ready to come out, it will. This also speaks to breathing. Breathing life into the blood, into the bones, into the DNA, activating, and find your own circuit. Find your own circuit to breathe, because everything is changing. It's all up for grabs at the moment. Don't pick up books to learn breath work. It's within you. Don't pick up books to learn tone work. The tone is within you. You came in with it. This is where we grow trust in blindness. Like children, merging relationships rather than boundarying and boundarying. Okay, lean into confusion, because what it's going to challenge is hard boundaries that we seem to apply to everything. I will never, I will always, those kind of boundaries. But actually, every soul is different. And we can be different ways. We can be different expressions with different souls. And I'm not just talking about the souls of human beings. I'm talking about the souls of nature. As gentle as we can be with nature, with a tree, with a sick bird, can we be that gentle with another human being? Can we allow our boundary to be permeated slightly, to become slightly porous, so that we can lean into a new expression? Piano duet, Libra and Sagittarius. Wow. It's the fire mind that's beautiful. Unbreakable loyalty to self, open-hearted partnering. So we are birthing out, this is about adult relationships. This is about becoming the philosopher, applying that mind, that brilliant Libra mind, to the philosopher. I am committed, I am inconstant. Inconstancy is a measurement of how committed we are to ourselves. It isn't a sin, is what I'm saying. I am inconstant. If we are inconstant, so growing up, I never knew I never understood this question. What do you want to be when you grow up? I just never got it. And I managed to hold on to my impermanent butterfly self. And I was given all sorts of labels. I'm difficult. I don't conform. Butterfly as an insult. She's a butterfly. She goes from flower to flower. We can't really put her in a box. That is my constancy. My inconstancy is my constancy. Because I go where spirit leads. I go where my whiskers lead me. I am committed, I am inconstant. Wisdom, the knowing, gnosis. It's all within you. You came in with it. I am inconstant, controlling, confidence breaking. This is all the insecure behavior. And when we apply our steel and our metal, our assuredness to that, we can love it better. We can say it's okay for you to be imperfect and a bit wobbly in this. Tell the world you're imperfect and a little bit feel a little bit wobbly. I feel a little bit lost every time I come to camera. Like for the last 2 or 3 months, I'm observing this. It isn't overwhelm. It's a too muchness, but it isn't overwhelm. You see, I'm running out of words. And I figured it out now. It's the Narnia thing. Because when I'm away from camera, I'm somewhere else. Learning, studying, building, expanding, growing. I come back to camera and it's like, I have to pull open this rusted shut doorway to get back into this portal. And that's been happening for 2 or 3 months. So I'm just holding that with curiosity. I'm just holding it. Yeah. I'm in the element of that. I'm in the element of a lot. It's a lot. And so many of us will be downloading new seeds, just seeds right now, until we find that new chord, that new tone, that new vibration. And we just put it out in the world. What are you hoping to achieve with that? Nothing. No thing. Find your element. What is your element? What is your core ore? What is at the core of you? Go back to when you were little. Go back to the last time you were silly and little and open-eyed at a tree. Go back to that moment and fuse it. Go back to that moment. This is the primordial. It's almost like it's like life before human programming. That's what it's like. That primordial self is totally instinctual. It's totally intuitive. It has its whiskers open and spread, searching, responding, not reacting, responding. Look, right, look. Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. It's going to take more effort to stay the same. I said this before. Yeah, it's the soul self. It's the soul self being transformed, coming online, rocking your world. Let it lean into the instability of change. Play with it. Bring that moment when you can last remember. I said to somebody the other day, when was the last time you skipped? As an adult, yes. When was the last time you skipped? Skipping, not as an exercise, not as a pursuit to improve cardiovascular balance. Skipping like a child, innocent, changes the energy field instantly, changes the energy field. Go back to that moment and bring that moment to Uranus, to Neptune, to Pluto. Bring it into this, oh shit, everything's changing. How can I get into that state of awe? Awe. Your core awe. I'm not this person. Are you sure? Are you sure? I am static. I am changed. I am clear. I am fogged. And again, you're practicing being both. Okay, this is integration, not shaming. There's no right, wrong, good, bad. There's no high. We're stripping down the hierarchy of who's better than one another. There's no better than. There's no worse than. That's crazy mind. I am buried. I am returned. Thank you, Pluto. I am garnered. I am scattered. I love that. Possessor or possessed. Ah, possessed. Planter, gardener, explorer of inner dimensions. I comprehend the wisdom of earth. I fold within to return my philosopher's stone. I'm going to end it there. That is stunning. So I'm going to love you and leave you. And thank you for being here. And thank you for your amazing sharings in the comments. So honest. Thank you. Keep bringing your beauty to the channel. Do all the clicky shingles. Do all the clicky things. Support the channel in any way you can. My contact details are in the description box. And I will see you all again soon. Much love. Bye.